This essay contains major spoilers.
When we're talking, which one should I look at? Sometimes I look at one, but then I think I'm wrong, so I look at the other.
Yes, everybody does that.
So which eye is it?
The Holdovers is what I like to call a Christmas light piece of media. While it has more evidence for it being a Christmas movie than, say, Die Hard, it is still a very unorthodox Christmas movie.
They still look like panties.
You're right, Crandall. You caught me. They're your mother's panties. Tell her thanks for the good times.
Its unorthodoxy is exactly what has made it become a new yearly Christmas tradition for me. The Holdovers is for pessimists who want to feel something this holiday season.
It's Christmas.
Even if it is simply comfort that other people are disillusioned with the world, same as you. I've always loved Christmas. The joy,
Curl your toes!
the family, the food,
I don't think I've ever had a real family Christmas like this before.
the not quite right but good enough thank you, I love you so much gifts.
So you just get this for everybody?
It's all very fun. What I don't like is the corporate part of Christmas. Black Friday has turned into Black January 1st through December 31st. Or people asking for specific things because their friends and family do not know them well enough to get them something they will truly love. Or the predicament of not knowing if you're supposed to get something for someone, especially when you don't know them. Why do we do that? A normal gift is a, hey, I really love you and think you deserve something, but a gift from someone you don't know is literally like, I don't know you, but I'm expected to get you a gift and you are too. But The Holdover strays away from the expected. It is not a traditional Christmas movie.
He doesn't mind if Daddy gets a little candy cane.
Thank you, but I never really liked candy canes. Plus, I'm pre-diabetic.
The plot of The Holdovers is that Paul Hunnam, played by Paul Giamatti, is a teacher at a boarding school. He is described in the synopsis as a curmudgeonly old teacher. And that's funny, because that's a funny word. But he is curmudgeonly. He is tasked with watching 4 boys over winter break at school, the Holdovers, or so it were, until Angus Tully, played by Dominic Sessa, a troubled boy, is told by his mom that he has to hold over with the others.
Fuck the summer and fuck Stanley.
Angus.
Are you kidding me? I'm just supposed to stay here.
The final central figure is Mary Lamb, played by Divine Joy Randolph, a black mother who recently lost her child in Vietnam, who is also staying at the campus over winter break.
Without him, please know that we accompany you in your grief.
Relatively early on, the 4 other boys end up exiting screen helicopter. This leaves Angus, Mary, and Paul together alone. This is when the 3 central figures really shine. All 3 play as each other's foils. Mr. Hunnam, who is analogous to Robin Williams in Good Will Hunting, is an old academic who has failed. Perhaps not of his own doing, much like Robin Williams.
It's Paul Hunnam. We went to Harvard together.
Hi, Paul.
Well, abroad, mostly, on fellowships. I'm currently posted in Antwerp.
He's writing a book right now. Tell him about your book, Uncle Paul.
My book.
Paul, though, takes his anger out on the rest of the world. He has been plagued with trimethylaminuria,
Trimethylaminuria.
which has made him uncourtly with women and generally standoffish.
Means my body can't break down trimethylamine. That's the smell. And, yes, more toward the end of the day.
That balances perfectly with Angus's own resentment.
Okay, maybe it's fine for you to sit around here and read books all day, but I'm losing my goddamn mind. Jesus!
Hey! Watch your mouth, young man. Not on Christmas Eve.
Due to his depression, which he takes medication for, and his family situation.
Librium.
Yeah, it's just something I'm supposed to take for low energy.
You mean depression?
Mary is the emotional anchor of the story. Having recently lost her son, her grief is felt throughout the entire runtime. Paul Hunnam goes through an enormous change throughout this film. In the beginning, he is a curmudgeonly old man, and by the end, he is a curmudgeonly old man with a heart. The inciting incident is that Paul is being asked to be the resident teacher who looks after the holdovers, or the students who, for some reason, were not able to go home from this boarding school.
It's not as though you had plans to leave campus anyway. And of course, there's a nice little bonus in it for you.
Well, non nobis solum nati sumus, I suppose.
boasting his pride for work at the school all film long.
You ashamed of how things turned out?
Not at all. Oh, I'm proud of my work. I love history. I love Barton. Barton is my life. I don't know what I would do without Barton.
Paul Hunnam ends up sacrificing his position at the school because he sees the potential in a kid who strangely resembles him in analogous ways. He's a pain in the ass, but he's a good kid, and he's smart. Paul knows that Angus's position is a lot better than his at that age, so he is giving back. Through all that Angus taught him, Paul can give back in this small way.
The Clotfelters want to withdraw Angus from Barton and enroll him at Fork Union Military Academy.
It was my idea. No, he didn't trick me or slip the leash. I took him to see his father.
And that's what's really special about this film. Only a couple times have I seen a movie and wondered, if they were real, I wonder where they'd be right now. But this is one of them. I want to hope that Angus, Paul, and Mary got together every year and celebrated Christmas together, but I know these characters. The impact of this short bond between the three of them will probably remain unspoken, or put into Paul's acknowledgments in his monograph.
I don't know. Maybe I'll start in Carthage.
I was hoping you were going to say that.
But there is a beauty to that, too. Something very human about developing such a deep connection over such a short time that will most likely never be revisited. It's hard to not view Angus as a little prick the moment you meet him.
Your cigarette? You stole my fucking cigarettes.
I resent that baseless accusation.
Cut the shit.
He seems generally unfun to be around.
I mean, our heads are elsewhere.
And where exactly is your head, Mr. Tully?
I don't know, St. Kitts. Getting into new material now, right before break? Honestly, it's a little absurd. Sir.
But throughout the film, you get scenes where you really get to understand Angus. He feels abandoned by his mom after he essentially lost his dad to psychosis.
I have to tell you something. I think they're putting something in my food.
He has to hold over with a teacher who hates him over Christmas. It is later explained that he has depression, something he shares with Mr. Hunnam. He has his moments of freaking out or breaking the rules, but Angus also provides some of the most human moments throughout the movie. Both of these characters have taught each other so much in the short time they've been together.
So I'm afraid that's what's gonna happen to me one day.
No, Angus, listen. You're not your father.
How do you know?
Because no one is his own father. I'm not my dad. I find the world a bitter and complicated place, and it seems to feel the same way about me. I think you and I have this in common.
Mary, as I said earlier, is the emotional anchor of the film. She is the median between Angus and Mr. Hunnam. She helps both of them get through what they need to get through, because even though she recently lost a son, she is always caring for other people. Towards the end, when she gets Mr. Hunnam a notebook to write his monograph, Mr. Hunnam asks her where she's going to go, and she responds,
Oh, no, I'm not going anywhere. I'm not like you. I like having a job. Plus, I'm saving up for college. My sister's baby.
She has been through so much, and now she's continuing to find another way to give back. Her sister is pregnant, and she can help with all of her needs. It's a beautiful end to her story, and continuation of a new one.
Only that if it's a boy, his middle name is going to be Curtis.
The movie centers on themes of judging people before truly getting to know them.
How are the boys?
Broken in body and spirit.
Okay, well, it is the holidays, so, go easy on them.
Oh, please. They've had it easy their whole lives.
You don't know that. Did you?
Loss.
He's gone.
accepting hard truths.
You should try doing more of that in class and less yelling. You know, most of the kids dislike you, pretty much hate you. Teachers, too. You know that, right?
And academia's unfairness.
Barton boys don't go to Vietnam. Oh, they go to Yale or Dartmouth or Cornell, whether they deserve to or not.
Except for Curtis Lamb.
Except for Curtis Lamb.
It tells these stories through an extremely weird lens, sometimes off-putting, in the best way possible, with weird line deliveries kept, and every take being a long one. It really immerses you in the world of the Holdovers.
Christ on a crutch. What kind of a fascist hash foundry are you running here?
Set in 1970, the film is a blast of the past. Though not shot on film, which surprised me, the movie has a film aesthetic through its color grading and film grain application. Parts of the image warp as if on an old film camera. The production companies at the beginning have a nostalgic feeling to them, and the soundtrack nestles all of this into a hot chocolate drinking, fireplace sitting next to you kind of movie.
There's nowhere I need to be, and my dreams still are calling.
This film is exceptionally weird though, but it captures the humanity of each character. Each cut feels deliberate, each off-putting delivery either made the butt of the joke or putting you in a philosophical chokehold. Take this scene, for instance, where two of the boys have gotten into a fight. It feels almost deliberately unpolished. All of the performances are enhanced by the weirdness, not withdrawn.
I resent that baseless accusation.
Give me my goddamn picture.
They're storing the tools and stuff in my room.
That's what they told you? It's winter, idiot. Nobody renovates their house in the winter. The only tool in your room is you.
Paul Giamatti, who makes a movie better just because he is in it, has these weird little things he does with his hands or with his facial expressions. It just feels very real and authentic. It makes me care about the old man, despite his status as campus asshole. The same goes for Angus Tully. If not for the charming, quirky things he says, the movie may be insufferable with how ungrateful and sometimes rude he is.
I don't know what you said to my mom and Stanley, Woodruff, but all I know is I'm not getting kicked out. And you got fired.
Well, I just told the truth. Mostly.
Barton man.
Barton man.
The quirkiness of the acting makes the audience feel closer to the characters and view them as real human beings, rather than fiction come to life. But the soundtrack and technicalities of the film also need to be highlighted. When I watched this movie for the first time last year, Silver Joy by Damien Jurado and Crying, Laughing, Loving, Lying by Lavi Siffre were automatically added to the playlist. They reminded me of drinking tea while watching a snowstorm, the fire going inside. It reminds me of Frog and Toad, Slow Living, which is literally the basis of Silver Joy. One of the cruxes of the film also is this slow living. The shots are long, the acting is drawn out, and the music is given space to breathe. Director Alexander Payne, cinematographer Eagle Brild, and colorist Joe Gawler brought this film to life. The film was shot on digital, but was color graded to have an old 70s aesthetic. It cracks and warps in places. The colors are cool and beautiful, reflecting the winter setting. It really feels like you're being wrapped up in a blanket of warmth, even with the cold feelings of the main characters. Maybe it's because of my own warped perception of reality, but I feel like this film was made for people like me. Us Scrooges still love Christmas. In fact, it's my favorite holiday, and we need a Christmas movie tradition too. That's why I'm making it a tradition to watch The Holdovers every year around Christmas time. It has become one of my favorite films of all time, and perhaps my favorite Christmas film. If you, like me, were obsessed with The Grinch and A Christmas Carol growing up, The Holdovers may be for you, a film for holiday pessimists around the world to show what Christmas is really about. Like you, the film starts in a no holly, no jolly kind of mood. By the end of the film, the holly and jolly are, well, they're still relatively low comparatively. But that's what works so well about this film. It's not an Elf or a Christmas Vacation. It has a lot of humor, but it's humor that makes you cry in the end because it connects you to the characters. The Holdovers was one of those transformational pieces of media, the once-in-a-decade kind of films that grips you in ways you didn't know were possible. Thank you all so much for watching. I know you have a lot to watch and care about, and I'm glad that you cared about this. So if you would like to leave a like or subscribe, also, my Patreon is linked in the description. Thank you guys so much for watching. The world will get better.
It's this one. This is the one you should look at.
Angus, step inside, please.